Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to continue to go through Mariah Carey's entire catalog with album number 15, Here For It All. Just when I thought I was done with Mariah's catalog, I get surprised with another album. Mariah's has been getting honored left and right in 2025, and for once, it had nothing to do with her holiday glitch. iHeartRadio, the BET Awards, VMAs honored her with some form of an icon award. But back to this album, when I first heard Mariah was doing another album, it surprised me that it wasn't another holiday album, given that holiday music has been her moneymaker since, the last 5 years. But as I've been saying about Mariah since the Chanteuse project, this is late period Mariah. It's where Mariah don't care about the critics, like she ever did, or charts or sales. This album was for her and her lambs. Hopefully it was worth to be here for it all. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Also, I've started a Patreon account. On here you get more copyrighted material and they'll be uploaded 48 hours prior to YouTube. If you want to support or visit, link is in the description. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Opening track, and Mariah's talking about the luxurious life. She doesn't care about any outside forces unless it involves her. And so what? Mariah's emphasizing her self-love and self-care. That's fine, but it's the pre-chorus that soured me on this song. She says, it's not about you, and I can't walk a mile in her shoes. And she's right, I cannot be Mariah for a day. But it's like she's making this about herself. Why should the listeners tune in? I feel like this song was only made for Mariah. So yeah, it's not the best way to open out for an album. For someone who adores Silk Sonic's 2021 album, I knew this would be something that I like, and of course I do, mostly on production, but Anderson.paak and Mariah Carey have impeccable chemistry together. I'll say it's not perfect. I wasn't too crazy about the outro fading out as it teases the listener wanting more, but overall this is a stellar song, and I'll probably wind up playing it again. The lead-off single for this album, and I remember not being crazy about it on first listen months ago, and I'm still not, but don't get me wrong, the song is not bad as it uses Arabian Rakim sample, and I like the Tommy Mottola reference in the beginning of the second verse. Something just feels like it's there. It's one of those songs that doesn't offend nor excite. It's a good song, but it doesn't go beyond that, at least for me. A title like that, and I'm obviously reminded of that Drake song back in 2018, but it has nothing to do with the song itself. This is a taste of old school Mariah, and with Anderson.paak on production, it's Mariah feeling distance from her lover, and it's coming off more estranged. But I will say the opening line of the chorus where she says, I think you might be getting a little bit too, feels crammed. The production is fine, but this one suffers from questionable choices, and that's what hold it back from excellence. Nothing Is Possible is the inspirational song for the album, and I'm reminded of Butterfly, the ballad. I feel like Mariah have done 20 of these songs in the past, but Mariah has to remind herself and listeners that when you're down, you have to get back up. She's done this time and time again, and each time, I never had an issue with it. It's fine. Confetti and Champagne is my least favorite song on the album, and this one sounds like it could have came out of Ariana Grande's camp circa 2018. It's a celebration that she moved on from this ex and is celebrating by herself. This might be the worst produced song on this project. In fact, it's the shortest song on here, clocking in at 2.5 minutes. If there's one song you could skip, it probably will be this one. Not quite worth celebrating. Yes, the Anderson.paak production is back and is taking advantage of the disco song with a very funky bass line. And this is a kiss off, continuing her celebration of her leaving her ex. But this ex was proven to be toxic, trying to use Mariah for clout in his own gains. And she's not down for any of that. This is fun Mariah, and fun Mariah is always a joy. Easily one of the highlights of this album. You should go back and re-listen to it. This is a cover of the Paul McCartney and the Wings ballad in 1973, which just means I'm forbidden to talk about the content, but rather ask the question, does it justify or overtake the original? And I'm here to say it doesn't overtake the original, but she does fine. I think the only reason being that is that the song could have come out of a movie soundtrack, but Mariah does give this some justice and it's listenable. Normally Mariah gospel cuts are slow burn or mid-tempo, but this one's different. One, she get contributions from the Clark sisters, and two, it's shorter compared to her other holy songs. But this has one big problem, and that is that the Clark sisters kind of washed Mariah. In fact, by the time the song ended, I forgot Mariah had a verse on this song. But in all, it's fine. It's always good when Mariah taps into her faith. I just wish we got more of her here, that's all. Final song on the album, and it's a choice putting the album title as the closing track. And the song's divided into two parts. Part 1 starts off with the ballad that plays into Holy Mariah. And you know what? This is the type of song where finding its true meaning doesn't really matter. Part 1 is just Mariah showcasing Mariah. Part 2 goes into adult R&B mode where the instrumentation carries the song all the way to the album's end. And one thing about me, I take album closers seriously because they basically sum up the album and it must pay off the entire project. And this one does. Goes a little bit long, but I feel like it needed to be this way. We might not get another Mariah album with her slowly worn vocals, and if this was the note to go out on, I can safely say it paid off. And I'll save my final pun for the end. And that concludes this album review. As I said in the final track, Mariah's vocals are worn, but I'll give her credit. She managed to adjust to her limitations and prove that she's still that diva. Despite these limitations, this is a great collective of songs, and it proved that 2025 is still Mariah's year. Good album. I'm giving this an 8 out of 10 ranking. The best late period Mariah album to date, and I'm here for it. And that concludes the Here For It All album review. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. What is your favorite song from this project? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.